Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. Today's video, I'm going to teach you guys on how you can find your perfect foundation match. I always get asked this all the time on social media and it's very difficult to explain via texting, so I thought why not I do a dedicated video, that way you guys are reassured and you know how to find your own perfect foundation match as well. Just to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by one of my favorite brands of all time, and that is NARS. I cannot believe this video is sponsored by NARS, like oh my god. Just to give you guys a backstory about my experience as a makeup artist before social media, I've always loved NARS. I've been using the products for so many years, and a lot of my friends who are makeup junkies and are makeup artists, they love NARS as well, and we always talk about how great their products are. So to sit down and talk to you guys about on how you can find your perfect foundation match using NARS products is such a 360 moment, because every time someone asks me what is the best makeup brand for base makeup, I always say NARS, because they have so many different types of foundations that gives you different types of finishes. Everything that I'm wearing on my face is NARS, and I have no beauty filter on as well in this video, so you can truly see how flawless my base makeup looks. I mean, I've done a full face of NARS many times before, and their products always make my face look and feel so good as well, and I always get compliments as well whenever I wear a NARS foundation. Later on in the video, I will talk to you guys about this foundation, and I will also show you guys on how you can achieve the most flawless base look as well. But first, let's figure out what is your foundation shade. So the first step is to determine what is your undertone. Once you figure out what your undertone is, you are able to narrow down a selection of foundation shades that could help you find the perfect foundation match. One way you can find your undertone is a very old school makeup way, and that is wearing either gold jewelry or silver jewelry. Sometimes when you wear silver or gold jewelry, you can really figure out what suits you. A lot of the time, gold and silver jewelry, it suits everyone, whatever outfit you're wearing. However, we are going to see, does it match your undertone? Now, as much as I love silver jewelry, it just doesn't match my undertone. And silver is more cool tone. So if you wear silver jewelry and it really matches your undertone compared to gold, then you are cool toned. So just to give you guys a side-by-side comparison, as you can see, gold suits me much better because it matches my undertone, so therefore I am warm undertoned. Another way to determine what type of undertone you are is looking at your veins. If you have blue veins, it means you are cool undertoned, and if you have green veins, it means you are warm undertoned. Also, having green veins, you could be olive as well, which does fall under the warm undertone category. Once you figured out your undertone, this is where you can start swatching foundations. The NARS Soft Matte Foundation comes in 34 shades, so you should be able to find your perfect foundation shade. I am in the shade Barcelona, which is a warm undertone, but it is more on the neutral side as well. It's not too pink and it's not too red. Some foundations do have that pinky red undertone, but it really depends on how warm you are and how deep your skin tone is. When you find a foundation that you feel like it could match your skin tone, always swatch it on your face. I don't recommend swatching it on your hand because the color of your hand is completely different to your face. Also, I self-tan as well, but I don't self-tan my face. I usually just self-tan my body, and I usually go in with a warmer foundation in order to match my face to my body. So it's very important to make sure that you swatch the foundation on your face. Once you swatch the foundation on your face, it's so important to also blend it out. I find that when you blend out a foundation, you can really see whether the foundation matches you or not. Sometimes when you swatch a foundation, it looks like it would match you, but once you blend it out, your foundation could either look warmer compared to your neck, or it might look lighter compared to your neck. So it's very important to blend it out, that way you can really examine whether the foundation matches you or not. And if you are still struggling to figure out which your foundation shade is, the beauty of social media is so helpful. There are so many pictures online of people reviewing the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, and I'm pretty sure that you can find someone that looks like you with a similar skin tone, and whatever foundation they're wearing most likely is going to suit you as well. Hopefully that information was very helpful. Now on to the next part of the video, which is how to achieve the most flawless filtered foundation look without using any filter and how to make it look natural and real. So the first step to achieving a flawless base look is skin prep. Skin prep is so important. I mean, you've probably heard this by like a million people online, but if you haven't heard of this tip, then let me explain why skin prep is important. If your skin is dry and you don't put on enough moisturizer, your foundation and concealer is going to look cakey and it's going to look dry and flaky, and let's be honest, we are not here for that. So skin prep is very important and it's actually one of my favorite steps in doing a makeup routine. A tip that I do recommend is when you do put on your moisturizer, make sure you leave it on for at least 10 minutes before applying any makeup on. And the reason why is because if you go ahead and put makeup on straight after applying moisturizer, chances are your foundation and concealer is going to slip, it's going to slide, it's going to mix, and you might not have a good time blending out your makeup. So at least give it 10 minutes. If not, if you're really busy, 5 minutes, you should be good. Whilst my skin is being prepped, I am going to go ahead and apply the new NARS Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm, and I am going to try on shade Brief Encounter. This lip balm feels so lightweight and smooth, and it's got this blurred effect as well. It's got bamboo fiber, which sounds so fancy. I've never heard of a lip product that's got bamboo in it, and yeah, it just gives off this really subtle, soft, very sexy lip look. I also feel like these lip balms are perfect for days where you want to have those no makeup days. You know, when you just want to add a little bit of color to your lips, these lip balms, definitely the ones to go for. Step 2, it is time to prime. This is the new NARS Soft Matte Primer, and this works so well with their Soft Matte collection. It's a very lightweight primer. It literally glides over the skin. I mean, as you can see from the video, it literally just goes into the skin like butter. It's so lightweight as well. It's very velvety, and the formula transforms into this water gel-like texture, so it feels really nice and beautiful on the skin. What I love about this primer is that it instantly blurs and fills in the uneven texture on my skin. You guys know that I have suffered from textured skin for such a long time, but in case you didn't know, I have had many skin problems, and one of them is acne pick scars. So this primer does help even out my skin a little bit, and when I do go ahead and put my foundation on, it's gonna look even more blurred out, almost like I don't have acne pick scars anymore. If you're looking for a primer that blurs out your skin but feels really beautiful and doesn't feel too oily, then I highly recommend in checking out the NARS Soft Matte Primer. Step 2.5, and you're probably thinking, why is there step 2.5? Why aren't we on step 3? Well, let me explain why. Some people are very blessed and they have such good skin that they don't need color corrector and concealing certain blemishes and hyperpigmentation. So if you don't have any of those problems, you can skip over to step 3. However, if you do suffer from acne, hyperpigmentation, bags underneath your eyes, such as like myself, then this step is optional. But I do recommend it if you are looking to really make your base look super flawless and almost make yourself look like a walk-in filter. So one of NARS's famous products is the Creamy Concealer. Amazing concealer, I highly recommend it, especially if you're looking for a concealer that just lasts throughout the day and you don't want to top up or apply any more concealer and you're looking for something that literally looks like your skin. They have launched these are the color correcting creamy concealers, and they are so good. Me and my friends, we spoke about these concealers, and when I mean me and my friends, I mean me and my like makeup junkie friends. We love these concealers so much. I've been trying these out for the past few weeks and I cannot recommend them enough. I have struggled for so many years finding the perfect formula for a color correcting concealer, because a lot of the time color correctors are either way too orange, the formula's not right, sometimes they dry too quickly and I don't have enough play time to blend it out into my skin, and it dries up my skin as well. Sometimes they're too oily and I'm waiting for the concealer to set. That way I can move on to the next step of my makeup. But these are just the perfect combination of setting time, blends very well and almost evenly as well. But anyway, enough of me talking. Let me just go ahead and put this on, that way you guys can see the magic. So these concealers comes in 4 different shades. I have with me shade light and medium. It also comes in shade medium, deep and deep as well. This formula does dry down quickly, but it doesn't dry the skin, which is perfect, especially color correcting underneath the eyes. What makes these creamy concealers so special is that it's got white water lily and it's also got red spiderling flower extracts, which sounds so bougie. What these do is that it helps brighten the appearance of skin and soothe while defending against free radicals. If you have spots or acne and you are thinking to conceal them, then I do recommend checking out the NARS Soft Matte Concealers. These concealers are an absolute game changer for concealing imperfections. It really does truly hide your spots and hyperpigmentation, and I recommend doing it before your foundation, and the reason why is because it adds more coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this concealer. There are so many different ways of how you can use this concealer. A very quick way for me is to just get a fluffy brush like this and just go over any blemishes or anywhere that I just want to conceal. So around my nose it's quite red, and then just a little bit over here on my eyes. You don't have to do this stuff if you don't want to, but I just thought I would share this tip because I know some people, when they have a breakout and they have a very important event to go to and they don't know how to, like, you know, conceal a spot, this is the best way to conceal. I'm gonna leave this concealer on for about 30 seconds before blending, and the reason why I'm doing this step is because the concealer is self-setting, and sometimes when you put on a concealer and you blend it straight away, the coverage of the concealer kind of goes, but if you do this trick, it adds more coverage onto the areas of your face. So it's been that 30 seconds. I'm just gonna lightly blend with my finger. So as you can see, it managed to literally cover that spot that I had right there. Step 3, it is time to put on the foundation. I love the bottle, and I love how it's a squeezy application as well of this foundation. So I'm just gonna start off with the tiniest amount of foundation. I'll just squirt it a little bit, literally like a little pea size. And what I like to do is I like to work on different areas of my face first. I don't put foundation all over my face and then blend it out, especially when it comes to blending with my fingers. I thought it'd be fun to show you guys how to blend this foundation out with your fingers. This is a NARS trick, which I absolutely love. And I did have a NARS education session with them. And it was so fun because you can never stop learning when it comes to makeup. Like, if you've learned everything in makeup, honestly, you should just quit. So I always like to work on one area, blend it all out with my ring finger so you can tap around the edges. Once the foundation starts setting, it's best to tap, but if your foundation is quite liquidy, you can go ahead and like just smooth it out. So a tip that I have learned from a NARS makeup artist is when it comes to blending makeup, you always want to go up. That way you are nice and lifted. This is all from one little squirt of the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I mean, look at that. Honestly, my skin just looks like a filter. So the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, it doesn't oxidize, which is amazing. It lasts up to 16 hours as well. I actually have worn this foundation longer than 16 hours and my base makeup still looks amazing. If you are an oily person like me, then this foundation has got superior oil absorbing powders, which helps absorb the appearance of excess sebum. And your base makeup does look mattifying throughout the day, but it doesn't look dry. And also, just to let you guys know, this foundation is full coverage, but even though it's full coverage, it still looks like skin, and I feel like that is so rare to find in a foundation, and I feel like NARS really nailed it with this soft matte foundation. The next step is highlighting, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get the soft matte concealer and just go ahead and highlight underneath my eyes. And what I love about this concealer is that I don't need to use too much. I've honestly used the tiniest amount, and it's able to give me that optimal lifted eye look. And the next step is powdering. Now, there are so many different ways you can set your makeup with powder. One of my favorite ways is layering on the powder. I personally don't bake as much as I used to, unless I'm going on a very glam night out, then I would bake if I really want that extra snatched under eye. But on a daily basis, I don't bake. I will be using the NARS translucent powder. This is a very finely milled powder, and those types of powders are amazing for people who suffers from creases and lines. I smile a lot, I laugh a lot. I mean, I'm human, and quite naturally the makeup creases, but with this powder, because it's so fine, it's able to just set the makeup and prevent any lines from showing. I'm going to use the NARS brush and just pick up just a little bit, and then I'll just go ahead and just apply it directly underneath my eyes. I always do underneath my eyes first because of the concealer. That's the most important part of the face. Like, it needs to be set well, that way it lasts throughout the whole entire day. And what I love about this powder as well is that it's very lightweight. Like, it doesn't cake up the concealer and foundation. Some powders I find really cakes up my concealer and foundation, but this one doesn't. And again, it just makes your makeup pretty much natural. Now it is time to complete the whole entire face. I'm gonna snatch my face, I'm gonna put on some eyeshadow on, and hopefully you enjoy the next part of the video.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going.
And that is the end of the video, guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you found it somewhat helpful as well. I want to say a big thank you to NARS for sponsoring today's video, because honestly, this is such a dream come true. I love NARS so much, and I have been using the product way before social media, and I've always been a big fan of them. So to have this video where NARS is sponsoring it, it just honestly means so much to me. So thank you so much, NARS. I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves and have a beautiful day. Bye!